Okay, so here let's look at momentum and units of momentum, and also what is impulse. It's a new term, so let's go ahead with that. Firstly, what is momentum and what is a unit? We know that momentum is represented by mass times velocity. So, and we also know that force is represented as newtons, and newtons is kg meter per second square, which is written this way. What happens when you multiply this with s? Now this gives rise to kg meter s power minus 1. Okay, let's keep that here. And let's multiply mass with velocity. Mass is kilogram kg. Velocity is meter per second, so ms power minus 1. So we see that these two quantities are the same. So the unit of momentum can be written as Newton multiplied by Newton seconds, which is the same as this times s. So that is the unit of momentum. Now let's come to impulse. Let's say a ball is traveling towards a wall with a velocity v, mass m, and it hits the wall and bounces back. What happens to the momentum? Initially the momentum is mv if we take this as a positive direction. After it bounces back, let's say it's a perfectly elastic collision, becomes minus mv. So what is the change in momentum here? Final momentum, which is this, minus the initial momentum, which is this, minus mv minus mv. This is initial and this is final. So minus 2 mv, but it means that it's twice the momentum initially, but in the opposite direction. This is negative direction. So it's a huge change in momentum, which is caused in an instance. That means in an instant, the time for which the ball was in contact with the wall was probably zero point zero 0.01 seconds or so, not more than that. In a small time interval, such a huge change in momentum has been caused, which means the force exerted by the wall on the ball, because we know that when the ball hits the wall also exerts a force on the ball, which is huge. And because the force is so huge, it is able to bring about such a big change in momentum in a small fraction of time. Let's look at it this way. We know that force is rate of change of momentum, which means change of momentum over time, as shown here. Here the change in momentum is caused by a very small amount of, within a very small time interval. So this force is called impulsive force, or a force which is huge force which is caused in a small amount of time. Now why is this important? Because in most of the cases, if we see in our daily life also, the momentum or the impact is for a very small time interval. When a tennis ball is hit with a tennis racket, or in many cases of collisions, the impact is just for a fraction of a second, but we see that after effects are huge because of the forces are huge. So that's the reason impulse is considered as a separate category of force. It's called impulsive force. And what is the unit of impulse? We know that. Let's first find out what is impulse. Impulse is nothing but the change in momentum. This change in momentum is the impulse, which is a product of force and time. So this is the impulse. So the unit of impulse is nothing but same as the unit of momentum. So momentum and impulse have same units, because change in momentum is nothing but difference between two values of momentum, which will give you. So the units of impulse is same as the units of momentum. Unit of momentum. Thank you.